10 tips that actually work for saving money on food and groceries right now. 3, 2, 1. Bang! Hey cuties! So today I am going to be doing a little bit of a different video, but a helpful video. I hope it's helpful. Groceries, food. I think we're all on the same page with this. Things are so damn expensive. Some places more than others, but overall, the price of pretty much everything has gone. But I have found some tips and tricks that I have found helpful and I've actually done in my real personal life that have helped me save a few dollars. Even if you're saving a few dollars can go a long way. A few dollars can go towards a light bill, an extra food item at the grocery store, an extra cheeseburger. A Starbucks drink, treat yourself. Saving money is always in and trendy. So these aren't revolutionary hacks. I'm not teaching you guys anything new or claiming that they're my hacks and what I came up with. These are just things that I have found helpful through the way of living and buying groceries and eating food. So if they seem basic to you and common knowledge, then you're doing good because you're saving money. I'm just trying to give some helpful tips and tricks. So come with me to the grocery store and let's start. Come on, let's go, let's go. Okay guys, so the first thing we're gonna do is be aware of prices. Something my mom taught me, which I completely glazed over when I was shopping at a grocery store. I didn't even notice it, so maybe you didn't notice it either. We're first gonna go to like the dairy section where there's like cheese, milk, eggs, butter, stuff like that. And what you're gonna look for is on the outside of the doors, there's like, I always thought they were just like ads or like saying like, oh, the margarine's over here or something like that. You can find actual coupons on the doors sometimes, most of the times. Not in every grocery store, but just keep an eye out for it. Be more mindful, because I always thought they were just like advertising like Baysell butter or something like that. I don't know. There are sometimes you can find them in the bread section, rarely in fruits and veg because it's mainly on like brand name stuff. I've rarely seen it in like soups and canned items, but a lot on dairy. Pay attention to rollbacks, price reductions, stuff like that. You can get coupons for cheese. Just rip it off, bring it to the till, and they'll scan it in for you. I mean, if it's right in front of you. If you can't find any coupons in stores or if you can't find any discounts in stores, you could of course go couponing. You could be a couponer. I've never like done that, been that route, but I have before went online. A lot of grocery stores online have like their flyers online and also sometimes coupons attached. So also if you have a mailbox, this is what I just grabbed out of my mailbox right now. All of this is food, okay? Maybe not the Canadian Tire, but everything else here is food. A lot of it is fast food, yes. $30 off of Uber Eats. 2 coupons right here at Bulk Barn to cut out. Pizza coupons. These coupons from Dairy Queen look good. KFC, more pizza, A&W. Look at all these coupons. Like if you need a meal for your family, if you're hungry, coupons, but just keep a lookout for them. There's also tons of websites that you can get coupons from. I'm not an expert in that. I'm not a couponer. So somebody in the comments down below, if you want to share like couponing tips and stuff like that, that's not my route, but if you want to go the whole couponing route, you can save like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Okay, now I'm gonna go in and get some extra savings. Number 2, something my mom taught me when I moved out by myself on my own. I went grocery shopping for the first time by myself for my own house and I was so excited, came home. I just wanted some grapes. I said to her like, wow, like they're so expensive for just grapes. This was way back when also, and I was like, I'm not even gonna eat all these either. Like I bought so many grapes, like whatever. And my mom says to me, you just took the grapes and then you just took them, found the one you like and put it in your cart? And I said, yes. As opposed to what? And she said to me, when you're buying something by the pound, such as grapes, bananas, something that's by the pound that's like on a bunch, you can't really do it with like an orange or an apple. You can't like cut it in half or anything. Like you buy the apple, you buy the avocado, so on and so forth. You get what I mean? Like if it's an individual item. But if it's something that's like on a vine or all together, you don't have to buy that whole bunch of bananas, let's say. You can take off the amount of bananas you like, or let's say you don't like the look of one of them. It's not just about saving money. You don't have to take that. You don't have to buy it because it's by the pound. You'll be charged more for how much they weigh. So just take what you're gonna use. And then in this way, you're gonna eat what you're actually gonna take. So it's gonna save money and not have fruit go rotten. Example, this happened the other day. Austin wanted celery, so he put a stalk of celery, like a big stalk of celery in our cart. And then we were walking on by and then we saw a bagged celery that he liked the look of better. So he took the celery, the big stalk of celery out, put it back in its place, put the bagged celery in, we went about our way. When we got to the checkout, we were putting everything up and we noticed that one of the stalks broke off and was sitting in the cart, and I just had put everything up there. So the guy at the cashier pulled up this one stalk of celery that was on this big bunch, and he's like, just one stalk of celery? He was just asking, and we were like, oh my god, no, sorry, that just came off, like, we're sorry, we just didn't even notice. And he's like, well, and he literally said, quote, well, I can sell this to you. And we're like, no, that's okay, we already have like the bag celery, so you can literally buy one stalk of celery. It's just so much cheaper. Even mushrooms here, I just got 3 mushrooms instead of buying a bag of them. I could just pick and choose the mushrooms I like, and all of these together were $1. So instead of buying like a crate of them or a plastic jar of them or wherever they come or however they come in your supermarket. Tip number 3. Okay guys, if you have an empty jar of peanut butter, if you have scraped every last morsel out of there, you haven't. You can make a delicious dressing or dipping sauce, really simple, with your empty jar, empty of peanut butter, and I'll show you how to do it. I've scraped it all. I don't measure, but I'm gonna put some soy sauce in there, maybe a tablespoon, some rice wine vinegar, about the same. Now, because this needs to be used up, there's like literally a drop. I'm just gonna put it in here. It also is really good if you have sesame oil. If you don't, not a big deal because the nutty flavor is already gonna be with the peanut butter, but now this is empty. I can recycle this. Okay, some garlic. I really like garlic, so I'm gonna put a lot in there. This is what it's looking like so far. Some pepper. I feel like it does need some pepper. Add any other seasonings you want. Paprika, cumin, I don't know, garlic powder, anything you want. I just happen to have fresh ginger right now. I've never used this device, but if you have just like no ginger, it's fine. Oh, look at that. My first time using this, I bought this at IKEA. Oh, it just plopped in there. All right. You could also use the packaged one. And I like a bit of heat. This is optional. Any hot sauce. I'm using just like a little bit of sriracha. This is what it looks like. Put the lid on it. Make sure it's secure and shake it up. Actually, I'm gonna add some acidity to it. I have a little bit of a lemon, like it's a used up lemon. It's fine because there's still juice in it. If you have a lime, that would work just to cut down on the saltiness to add some acidity. And if you don't have it, oh well, use what you have. Holy crap. If you have like the bottled lemon juice too, I just happen to have a lemon. And you're just gonna shake it up. Take out your aggression. Shake it up, shake it up. Depending how much peanut butter is in here actually, you might have lots of sauce. You might have sauce for days and then you can just keep this in the fridge now. You might have a little bit left, use it up. Let's see how it's looking. So my sauce is kind of runny. I'm gonna push down the sides. It comes off way easier now because there's like shit in there. I'm gonna add just a little bit of water. So if it's super thick, add just a little bit of water. Don't add a ton because it'll be super thin. If you like it super thin, add a ton of water. I don't know, just like play around with it. It's an empty jar of peanut butter, so you're not gonna screw it up. So here's with a little bit of water and the sides pushed down. Let's shake it again. It smells incredible. Oh, it just reminds me of like chicken lettuce wraps. Also, you could use this on chicken lettuce wraps. You could use this as a dip. You could put it over shrimp, put it in like spring rolls, cold rolls. Oh my god, there's so many opportunities for this. Like, bye. It's kind of like a Thai peanut sauce, I would say. Pretty thick if you can see that, and that's perfect. It needs something. And whenever I say that, it always is like a pinch of salt. And you know what? Maybe a little bit more soy sauce. And just for me, taste it. It might be good for you. More hot sauce. Shake it back up until you get what tastes good for you and what you like. Oh, yep, there it is. This is the sauce in question. So you can see that there is, at the bottom here, there is even more peanut butter and at the sides. So I could use this for my salad right now that I'm gonna show you guys. And I could also do this again and then keep it in the fridge. It's like a never-ending jar of peanut butter. So this is the salad I made. It's just romaine lettuce, some red pepper, red onion, and some grilled chicken. Drizzle this peanut sauce. Oh, just like a salad dressing. And I didn't need to go anywhere to buy it. Look at how delicious this looks. I like my salads pretty saucy. No, that looks good. Yep. And there is still more, which I'm going to put in the fridge because I'll have this for my salad dressing for tomorrow for lunch with maybe some shrimp salad. Delicious. 4, my favorite tip, dollar store seasonings. You can pretty much get any seasoning at the dollar store. I know, not every seasoning, they really only have the basics. But you would be surprised of how similar and dead on they are to like your typical brand name seasonings that you would buy at the grocery store. Also, extremely cheaper, and they taste the same. You get about the same amount of product too. Take it from a foodie. See, now if you think they taste differently or off, or you don't like the taste of them, or you prefer a different brand name, then obviously do that. But for me, like using garlic powder, for instance, buying it at Dollarama, it's like $1, and the seasonings in the grocery stores are always above like $5. So to me, it's a no-brainer for my household, I should say, and for me and for my taste. So I have garlic powder. I found Red Lobster seasoning. at Dollar Tree. I got these for $1. This Jamaican hot curry powder, Soul seasoning. Dollarama's hooked me up with paprika, another paprika. I love paprika. Basil leaves, oregano leaves, and parsley flakes. Hello. I don't think people realize how expensive seasonings really are. Like if I was to buy like a bag of like, or like a bottle bag, sometimes they come in bags or bottles, whatever, of garlic powder, that could sometimes run me like $8 for literally this. Whenever I go to the dollar store, I just go down the seasoning aisles because you never know what they're gonna have. It doesn't have to be dollar stores, like discount stores or discounted food stores. Seasonings are freaking expensive in grocery stores. Now, of course, if you're getting a specific seasoning that the dollar store wouldn't have, like, I don't know, like maybe turmeric. I've got turmeric actually before at Dollarama, maybe like 5 spice, or like if you're looking for like a specific, yeah, okay, well then get it at the grocery store, right? But for your basic seasonings, salt, pepper, paprika, oregano, dollar store, your grocery bill is gonna go, because you won't be tacking on like 3 extra seasonings that are like $5 to $7 each. I'm telling you, dollar store seasonings. Also, a side tip, shopping at the dollar store or Dollarama, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, or a discount store in general shouldn't be seen as something bad or negative or something to feel ashamed about in any way, shape, or form. We all need to eat to survive. We all are buying food. Why not save money on it? The dollar store carries actual brand name products. Sometimes the deals aren't that good because they're really small and it's like sometimes the same price as the bigger one in a grocery store. So just keep that in mind. But certain things are like, why not just buy this at the dollar store or dollar store brand? Pasta, I feel, seasonings, stuff like that. You can buy Jell-O. You can buy like anything now with the dollar store. Snacks, candies, chocolate, stuff to make dinners with, pasta sauces, canned tuna. There's so many options. So don't feel bad about shopping at the dollar store, or don't let anyone else make you feel bad about shopping at the dollar store either. F them. Tip number 5, 2 words. Meal plan. I have been in the same mindset that some of you might be like, are like, meal plan. There was a huge chunk of my life where I was like, well, how can I meal plan if I don't know what I'm gonna be doing that day? Or if I'm gonna be home? Or what if I don't want that day? What if I'm not gonna be hungry for that? You know what I mean? Or how can I think of that many meals sitting down in one day for like a week in advance? Like how can, like what? Like I just always had like a mindset like that for a big chunk of my life. However, meal planning is actually so easy. So what I do personally, I like to put it on my phone because then it's like in hand. I always am on my phone. I can cross things off really easily instead of like scratching them out on a paper. But if you prefer pen and paper, if you physically like writing things down, or I do have a dry erase board. Sometimes I write daily menus on. You could write like a weekly menu or meal plan on a dry erase board so you can erase it. There's many different ways, whatever you like, do what works for you. But meal planning seriously saves money and time, and it helps against food waste. You literally go and you meal plan for however many days. Try it. If you don't like it, then you don't have to keep doing it. I've noticed that when I don't meal plan, I spend more, I eat out more, and I just make poorer decisions. And I'm like, what do we eat for supper? What do you want for supper? And I'm running to the grocery store like almost every day because I'm like, oh, how about let's have this? There's also apps. I've never been on a meal planning app, but there's probably tons out there. So what I do personally, I literally take the notepad document on the iPhone, and I'm just gonna give you guys an example here of our meals for this week coming up. This is what we're gonna have. Now, sometimes I do shift things around, right? Then we have a week's worth of like groceries. It just makes it so much easier. I know what ingredients I'm gonna buy. I have things out, things are thawed, things are ready to go. I literally just write meal plan, and then I put Monday, however many days, it's usually Monday to Friday. Breakfast and lunch, for me, I just kind of go with what I'm feeling. So these are only suppers that you're seeing. This has saved me so much money because when we just go to the grocery store and we say, oh, we need chicken, we need eggs, we need this. But when we come back to the house after spending like $300, what are we gonna make with it? Okay, well, if we're gonna make lasagna, well, we didn't get lasagna sheets. We didn't get, you know what I mean? So once it's all planned, you don't have to make multiple trips to the grocery store. And it's actually just fun just sitting down, putting on a movie, and just like planning out what you want to eat for the week. And yes, you might be craving something else different that day, but if you stick to it, it's almost like a mini accomplishment. You're like, hey, I didn't order that pizza. I ate chicken Caesar salad. I mean, go ahead and eat pizza, girl. I'm just saying. This has really eliminated a lot of like rotten fruits, rotten vegetables, me pulling out that dreaded bag of salad that's like dripping. Like, we eat what we have. Tip number 6. Okay, a quick tip for these bagged salads. I know you guys probably all use these or are familiar with these. So good for on-the-go meals. But, I mean, these aren't revolutionary hacks. These aren't crazy hacks, but these are just things that I picked up along the way. Just trying to save somebody out there some few pennies, okay? Go buy yourself a nice watch from Claire's with this savings that you're gonna get. tonight we're having Caesar salad. So for me, I have found that the amount of lettuce that they give you with the ratio of the sauce, if you put all the sauce on all the lettuce, it's not as saucy as I would like my salads to be, but I just feel like it's too much lettuce, which is a good thing. I'm like, hello. There's a lot of things that went down in production. I'm not a conspiracy theorist or a shrinkflation expert or anything, but you know. So what I do is I just don't use all the lettuce, okay? I just kind of eyeball it because Austin and I are both gonna have a salad tonight, so we're probably gonna have, I eyeball it versus the sauce. Like, is this gonna cover that? So this, I'm not gonna throw away. I'm gonna keep this, but this is so good for literally an entire salad or a little salad, side salad even for lunch the next day, to put in wraps, to put in sandwiches. Austin and I both can have a sandwich for lunch tomorrow using this leftover lettuce instead of buying a whole head of lettuce that might go expired. So saving just that extra little bit of lettuce and having a saucier salad, you're welcome. Just any way to get 2 meals, even 3 meals out of one. Number 7. You're probably like, what is that? Bulk, everyone, bulk. I specifically love the bulk bar because they have a huge selection of stuff, but sometimes your local grocery store will have a bulk section in the grocery store already. For certain recipes, I've needed like specific flour, a little bit of flour. So instead of buying a whole bag of flour for just one recipe, or like a certain sugar you need, you don't want to buy the whole package of it. If you just buy just what you need, you will literally spend like dollars. For instance, I was wanting goji berries for a recipe I was doing, and the goji berries were like $10 or more. I can't remember the exact price, but they were over $10 for a bag of goji berries, and I literally just needed a sprinkling of them. So I went to bulk section and I spent like 60 cents or something like that, like 50 cents on just what I needed. So I use what I needed, it doesn't go bad, and I'm spending like pennies. What I got right now, my bulk barn has dog treats. My dog is very picky for treats, so instead of buying a whole thing of dog treats, which can run you like over $10, I do a tiny little scoop of one for him to try them if you have a picky animal. This was like $1.12 for this bag. I've been craving some chopped peanuts or like some kind of like nuttiness for my salads. I don't want to buy a bunch of peanuts and chop them and do all that work. This bag was 60 cents. And this is like well enough because I just need like literally like this much for each salad. So this will be like 8 salads or lettuce wraps or to put over top of oatmeal. Bulk. You're really sleeping on bulk. The rest of these, for this case, Austin and I wanted to have a little snack, but we didn't want to buy a whole big thing because right now we're trying to eat better and it's a lot of temptation. So for me, I got these milk chocolate salted caramel balls or whatever. If I were to buy the whole bag, I could even imagine they're probably gonna be like $12.99 or something like that. These were $2. Or if you're wanting to try something, or if you're just eating it for a recipe, some people are like, oh god, I don't need like this much flour or oatmeal. Oatmeal's another one. I don't use oatmeal a lot. I have bulk of it, and chia seeds, I have bulk of it. They were literally like $1 or less. So if it does go bad or if you don't use it up, it's not that big of a deal. It's a good way to try something. Like we wanted to try chocolate covered gummy bears. This was 55 cents. And then just for another little snack, he wanted some macaroons and I wanted some sponge toffee milk chocolate. $1 something and $2 something. So if you have a specific bulk place, it's even fun to go look around, or if you want to try something new, or maybe just look around in your grocery store, they might have a bulk section already in there. You don't need to buy the entire thing. Tip 8. Okay, so when you're using a pre-made sauce in a jar, doesn't matter if it's creamy, if it's tomatoey, whatever sauce you're using, even if it's like honey garlic or some kind of like sticky barbecue sauce, you can do this with as well. I've done it with pretty much every sauce. You get more out of your sauce. Do not mind my stovetop. It is disgusting. I need to give it a deep clean. Try to ignore it. I know it's disgusting. Some people just pour their sauce in and then they throw it away. I like to fill it up with a little bit of water. If you put in too much water, your sauce will be very, very runny, but maybe you need it more runny. I don't know, depending on what sauce you're making or what you have in front of you. You could also do milk or cream. I think a lot of people do this one already, but in case you didn't know, you can use up every last drop of that sauce. Or if your sauce is too thick and you need to thin it out, it's a really good hack as well for cooking. If you need to feed a lot of people, or if you need meals for like 3 days or something like that, you have more sauce to do so. 9. You would be surprised surprised of how many different things you can actually freeze, especially if you're not going to use them right away, like buying chicken and then it expires in a couple days and then we're like, hey, let's take a sporadic trip to this place or something like that. I know that I'm not going to use it. Freeze it. Don't let it go to waste. You can freeze fruit. You can freeze bread. You can freeze some vegetables. Sometimes they can be soggy when they thaw out. So you can't freeze everything, but most things you can freeze. You can freeze leftovers. Example, my mom just baked a delicious batch of like these chocolatey, cream cheesy chocolate chip cupcakes for Austin and I. And we're both on 30 hard right now. So we're trying to eat healthier. We have like 3 weeks left. So these would have went in the garbage. So instead of doing that, or instead of saying no thank you, I took them, put them in my freezer. Because as soon as we're off of 30 hard, I can take those out, thaw them, and they'll be good as new. I bought strawberries, a whole thing of them, thinking that I was gonna eat them throughout the week. I don't really like fruit that much, so I didn't even touch one of them. So right now that's what I'm doing, is I'm freezing all my strawberries. I'm not gonna eat them and they're starting to go bad. And it'll give me time to think of like what I wanna do with them, or I could pull them out if I want a smoothie one day for lunch and they'll already be cold. I've froze peppers before. They go kind of mushy, but it depends how you're using them and how you like the texture of them. Bread is a good one, especially if you're in a smaller household or if you don't eat a lot of bread but you buy the loaf. I always automatically just freeze half of it, especially if you make a big batch of something and only a little bit gets used. There's only so much you can eat and you don't want to get bored of something. You don't want to keep eating it day after day after day after day. Freeze it. It'll save your groceries, which means save you money, and then you have extra food already sitting in the freezer ready to go for those days where you're like, I don't know what to cook. And finally, tip number 10. Maybe a little obvious, but for those who don't know, if you're really trying to save money, go for the off-brand or generic brand of the food items that you're gonna purchase. For me this time was breadcrumbs. The breadcrumbs that I usually get, I don't remember the brand name of them, but anyways, I went to go grab them and I was like, to the price, I was like, wow, that went up in price. So I was looking around and I found the Great Value brand of this, and it was like $2 to $3 cheaper. So I grabbed this. They weren't as seasoned, so I used my dollar store seasonings and I seasoned them up. So if generic doesn't taste the same, such as this, the Kraft one of this like fake parm that Austin loves, this fake parm, it was way more expensive than the generic off-brand one of this one. To me, I noticed a difference of this. Some of these things, like for instance, the pickled jalapeno chicken broth, I don't taste a difference. I've had off-brand ketchup, mustard. Sometimes off-brand stuff, like even cookies, chips for me they taste better. There are certain things that it's like, I wish I would have opted out and spent the few dollars more for like the actual brand name. So instead of just like your typical picking up like, oh, I need oatmeal, I'm just gonna grab this one. Look around at the different prices, different brands, see what's out there, and know you're not poor because you have the off-brand version of something. To that. I grew up in a household that had off-brand of everything, but sometimes people would make the comment like, oh, like, you're buying Cheerios instead of Cheerios. It's like, F you ho. So those were all my tips and tricks, not crazy things, nothing revolutionary or anything like that, but I just wanted to help you guys out there. Some people are struggling with groceries and food, and just things are so expensive right now, honestly. I hoped one of these tips helped you, or maybe just made you a little bit more mindful of use what you have, or freeze what you don't, and go to the dollar store. And if you guys have any saving money on food tips or tricks or hacks or anything like that, feel free to drop them in the comments down below, because other people can see what other people's suggestions are, not just mine. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and happy shopping, happy eating, and keep your bellies full and happy. I love you guys. Bye. Mwah.